right. I call this meeting to order. It's June 23rd. This is our Mason County Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll start with Kevin, could you lead us in the pledge?
Okay, I don't really have a flag, but
Diedrich has one on the screen for the TVW, so just maybe focus there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Kevin. Or Commissioner Schutte.
welcome.
Would the clerk please call roll?
District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here. Moving on to item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Do we have any correspondence?
Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in a marijuana and liquor license due to expire. I apologize, I do not have the name of that business. Also, Polly Hankin, Jennifer and Dawn Devon, Janine Raywalt, Shelley Spalding, Linda Amar, Barbara Hoonan, Leslie Peterson, Janine Daggett, Daryl Barker, Jean Bittinger all sent in letters regarding the home rule charter.
Great, thank you. Moving on to item 4.2, it's a news release. I'll go ahead and read that. This is the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council. Mason County is seeking applicants to fill one position on the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council. This Lewis Mason Thurston Area Aging on Aging is a local government agency that provides home and community services for seniors and adults with disabilities to help them remain living in their own homes. The Advisory Council makes recommendations to the governing board and staff. Members serve a 2-year term and meet the first Wednesday of the month at the Area Agency on Aging office at 2404 Heritage Court Southwest, Suite A in Olympia from approximately 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Members are not paid. However, automobile mileage is covered. The website address is www.lmtaaa.org. We invite interested persons to apply for this commission by completing an advisory board form that can be downloaded from our website, www.co.mason.wa.us. Forms and brochures tab, click on Commissioners Department, or by calling the Commissioner's office at 427-9670 extension 419 or 275-4467 extension 419. This is an important board, so we encourage folks to please apply. Moving on to item number 5, in response to the COVID-19 outbreak, we're suspending the citizen input at this time. We'll accept public email via email, public comment via email. Information is on the screen at Mason Web TV. Or you can call our office at 360-427-9670 extension 419. Moving on to item number 6, adoption of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move adoption of the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
And the agenda is adopted. Moving on to item number 7, approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the June 1st, 2020 briefing minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve July 1st, 2020 briefing minutes as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the minutes are approved. All right, moving on to item number 8, adoption of or approval of today's action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on the action agenda. Commissioners or members of the public can ask questions or have the items removed for a separate discussion and vote. Commissioner Netherland, if you could read items 8.1 through 8.6. I will read items 8.7 through 8.10, and Commissioner Schutte, if you could read 8.11 through 8.15.
I'd be happy to, Madam Chair. Item number 8.1 reads approval of a contract between Mason County Public Health and Olympic Health and Recovery Services. Item number 8.2, approval of the 2019 oath of inventory pursuant to RCW 3632.210 and Mason County Code 3.56. Item number 8.3, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14th, 2020 at 9:15 a.m. to consider the 2019 open space application, for Bueda Dominique Wallace. Item number 8.4, approval to increase the amount previously granted under the CARES Act to continue funding of an additional contracted custodian staff member to perform precautionary cleaning to the Mason County buildings. Item number 8.5, approval of a resolution extending the local declaration of Mason County as a disaster area for an additional 90 days. Item number 8.6, approval of the public assistance grant number D20-2053 for presidential disaster declaration 4539-DR-WA Winter Storm 2020.
Item 8.7, approval of a contract for professional services between Mason County and Creative Solutions Counseling, effective July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. 8.8, approval to appoint Pam Voles to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee in a spender position, replacing Stephanie Rowland for a term ending May 31st, 2021. Item 8.9, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims Clearing Fund warrants number 807-3006 through 807-3163 in the amount of $301,036.60. Item 8.10, approval of contract K2293-202025 between Mason County Public Health and Cascade Pacific Action Alliance for Mason County's Medicaid Transformation Project.
Madam Chair, item 8.11, approval to authorize the Deputy Director, Utilities and Waste Manager to purchase and enter into contract with Greenwich Engineered Products Incorporated for one new pump, including well cleanout and pump installation for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility Lift Station number 1. Item 8.12, approval to authorize the Deputy Director, Utilities and Waste Manager to purchase new pumps and electrical system upgrades for Russellwood Lift Station 3 and enter into a contract with Aquatech to complete the project. Item 8.13, approval of the Mason County Commissioners 2021 and 2022 preliminary budget guidelines. Item 8.14, approval to suspend certain limitations in County Code Chapter 2.88, meetings of Board of County Commissioners regarding commissioner participation in commissioner meetings via conference call or video conference, and requirement that 2 commissioners be physically present. This suspension is in effect until July 31st, 2020. And item 8.15, approval of a memorandum of understanding between Mason County, the Mason County Sheriff's Office, the City of Shelton, the Shelton Police Department, Mason County Prosecutor's Office, Mason County Public Defender's Office, and Olympia Health and Recovery Services for the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program.
All right, great. Now that we've read through the action agenda, are there any items that you would like to be removed for discussion or a vote, or a separate vote?
No.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval of items 8.1 through 8.15 on today's action agenda.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve items 8.1 through 8.15 on today's action agenda. Do we have any discussion?
Madam Chair, I just a couple of quick comments. First off, on item 8.1 and 8.15, really excited about the partnership with Olympic Health and Recovery Services, as well as our local law enforcement departments on the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program. I think this is there's never a bad time to start looking at procedures and policies and opportunities to improve interactions with the community. But I think there's a lot of really good collaboration happening between law enforcement in Mason County and folks on the behavioral health side. And I think this is a really positive step forward for our community to help hold people accountable, but also get people into the services that they need to get well and become contributing members of the community again. The other comment that I had is on item 8.6, item 8.5, extending the disaster declaration. Credit to staff, we had some constituents come forward and have concerns about wording in the initial disaster declaration that appeared to allow access without permission on people's private property and in their homes as part of the disaster declaration. Our staff has worked to clean that up. That's not in this extension of the disaster declaration, and that's intended more for natural disasters, floods, earthquakes, fires, when first responders might need to stage equipment on people's property. It doesn't make sense for a pandemic, and so I'm happy to see that get cleaned up as we extend the disaster declaration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just have one apology for item number 8.3. I apologize to the applicant. I'm sorry I could not figure the proper way to say that name. My apologies.
That was a difficult name, but a very pretty one at that. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Agenda has been approved. So I do not see any department heads or other elected officials. Oh wait, I do see one in there.
It looked like a scene from a movie.
Right? I won't touch that one at all. Okay. We'll move on to item number 10. We do not have a public hearing set at this time. So we'll move on to item number 11, board reports and calendars. Commissioner Netherland, if you could go first, Commissioner Schutte, and then I will follow.
I also respond to George Kowalski, if that's easier to say sometimes. Okay, I had some different webinars I attended. North Mason Chamber of Commerce had their very first open executive board meeting, which was pretty interesting. We held it outside at a park to give the ability to have social distancing and still be able to meet together for the first time in months. Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization meeting briefings. I've been meeting with different sports teams, trying to find ways to help them to be able to keep some type of training going for the year. I hope to bring something back from them as a request shortly. We have for the next week, other webinars coming up, the Safe Start, other webinars, briefings, director's evaluation, MTA policy, and that brings us not back on Tuesday because we don't have a meeting on Tuesday, so we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Okay, great. Commissioner Schutte.
Yeah, thank you. Just a couple of things heading forward this week. I'm looking at the wrong week. Give me a second here. Have the Wasatch Safe Start meeting later on today. Also, the Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board meeting tomorrow. And then finishing out the week, have a special meeting of the State Building Code Council. Again, trying to extend the implementation of the 2018 code to next year. And so there was a vote on that earlier this month, and it failed. However, there were some irregularities in how the vote was taken, and so we're having a special meeting on Friday to revote that issue, which hopefully will lead to a better outcome. So I'm looking forward. I appreciate everybody work to make that happen. I also have a lead group meeting as well as a meeting with staff regarding the RIA 14 water work on Friday. And then are we back for briefings on Monday? Are we trying to do briefings on Monday? Is that the plan?
Right, we should be back on Monday for briefings, but they'll still be remote.
Okay. And then since we don't have a meeting next week, I also will be attending virtually a meeting with the Forest Service regarding work up at Staircase that's projected to happen over the next several months.
Great, thank you. All right, so I will also be on the Safe Start meeting with WASAC this afternoon. And I also have a signature verification training. We have moved our EOC meetings to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I will be on those days. Community Action Council board meeting on Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry, on Wednesday. Audit committee on Thursday. And Friday is another webinar. And of course, we have things pop up all the time. COVID is such a new adventure, right? And so I guess that covers that.
Madam Chair, I left out the area command meeting in my briefing also, and the fact that we will all be, we were there last week, we will be there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with you also.
Great. Sounds good. How about a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, I move we adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you.